Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, and we have a whole range of Xbox topics to talk about this week. From new levels of incompetency to levels of backwards compatibility that will blow your mind. On top of that, an old Xbox exclusive IP may be making a return through a sequel in a way that is epic, and oh, that's not going to go well with anyone. And then on top of that, new Game Pass rumors to dig into with Square Enix. So we got a lot to talk about today. If you're new here and you like Xbox stuff, hey, guess what? We do an Xbox podcast called Defining Duke. It's been growing a lot. We're available on all audio platforms as well as video. So go ahead, give us a look. If you like me, you want a little bit more of that Xbox news on top of RPGs, we just reviewed Outriders. Check out the channel. Do consider subbing up, and the like button helps a lot too. With all of that out of the way though, enough self-promo, let's talk about Xbox and a delay? Well, no, not quite. But anyway, like I said, new levels of incompetency have been achieved this week. It's actually fascinating. Now, let me start off by prefacing all of this and saying, we do not believe in cancel culture, okay? While society likes to make you think the mistakes that you make should be the sword that you die by, I believe in personal growth, okay? If you like my channel, I used to really suck at this thing. It was an immature asswipe, okay? So if you like what I do here now, it's because I was able to learn from my mistakes and grow as a person and a creator. So mistakes will be made, even by me and many others. With that said, this is a level of like, I'm not even giving a fuck that I'm actually mind blown. And I need to front load it on this video here, and then we'll get into the news. So let's talk about Halo Infinite. This is the game that a lot of Xbox fans are really looking forward to, and I am as well. I want to play all the Halo games this summer in preparation for Halo Infinite. I'm really excited for it, despite not being the best first showing, but it looks like they're making improvements through those photos and some of the things that they're talking about, but I want to see in action. Point being, though, is Kotaku got bamboozled and then by the internet. It was not pretty. So they posted an article saying Halo Infinite was delayed until 2022. And it's like, okay, you know, that makes sense. Like a news site is posting it. It must be true. So you click on the article and they wrote a quick article citing a tweet from a fake account. And I thought, oh, okay, we've all been tricked by a fake Twitter account before. To me, not to the extent of making a video on it or to the extent of writing an article on it. I get it. You can see a tweet and be like, okay, this is it. This is the news. But at the bare minimum, you bury into the thread itself to see, hey, is there more information from the developer? That's typically the train of thought. At the absolute bare minimum, you just check the thread, check the replies, check if there's more information there. But Kotaku took this tweet, grabbed it, and made an article. And guess what was in the replies? It was a fucking vibrator advertisement. I can't believe it. Dude. Oh my God, worst case scenario. That is insane. So yeah, they eventually took down the story in a rapid fire pace. They said, we got everybody, and Xbox let them have it. They were like, okay. Well. And then Halo's account, a little bit nicer about things. I don't know if I would have been as kind, but just a really strange mistake to be made. I wanted to put this up front as well, not to just throw egg on the face of Kotaku, but really because I had a lot of people coming in my stream chat saying like, Matty, you hear about Halo getting delayed? It didn't get delayed, everyone, okay? Did not get delayed. Halo is still on for this year, probably in November would be my guess. All right, with that, let's move on into what I think is more positive news, more exciting stuff. All right, Matty from the future here. Ladies and gentlemen, I record this video, I go home, go about my night, I wake up the next day, and boom, here it is, huge Game Pass news to go over, because Xbox thought, hey, Outriders Day 1 on Game Pass isn't enough. We're going to do another big Day 1 drop on Game Pass in April, no less. So this game is MLB The Show 21, and it's coming to Xbox Game Pass Day 1. They didn't even want to let Outriders marinate a little bit. They said, you know what? We're just going to drop this news the day after. And I think that's absolutely crazy. So they have an Xbox Wire post, and it says, we're delighted to announce that MLB The Show 21 is coming to Xbox Game Pass on Day 1 and will be available on April 20th for Xbox Series X, S, and Xbox One, as well as on Android phones and tablets via xCloud Gaming for Ultimate members. Both MLB The Show 21 Xbox One and Xbox Series X/S standard editions will be included with Xbox Game Pass, so members will be able to play the best version of the game regardless of which console they are on. And with cross-platform play and progress, you can play against others online and earn and use content across the platform and generation you choose. So this is actually awesome. Now, I know MLB The Show may not be a game that lights your fire. I totally get that. I was an MLB Slugfest guy growing up, okay? Remember that game? Josh, little editor's note, throw some of that gameplay in the background, okay? Because the midway games are what we grew up on, all right? This was the real gamer move. But let's talk a little bit about MLB The Show for real. So, this may not be the craziest news to you, but the reason it's a big deal is MLB The Show, for most of us, we already know this, if you don't, was a PlayStation exclusive title. Then MLB took over the publishing and they said, we're going to go multi-plat because why are we making a sports game exclusive to one platform? So this was really not a PlayStation move by any means, but still, this was a PlayStation IP that the second it goes multi-plat, Xbox says, day one Game Pass, boom, right there. And this is what's going to continue to happen. I don't say that with fanboyism. This is going to continue to happen. You're going to continue to see Xbox outbid Sony. The reason for that is because Microsoft is worth more than $1 trillion. They will outbid Sony any single day of the week. That's just the reality. So as long as there's interest there and it makes sense and it's not going to be a sunk cost and a game company can benefit from it and the consumers can benefit from it, which are a lot of things that can match up pretty easily, then Xbox can go get it if they have that check. And with Microsoft in on Game Pass and Microsoft in on Xbox, which they really haven't been all too much before, outside of, I'd say, the 360, which was the last great Xbox generation, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, this will continue to happen. And it's going to hurt even more because right now, Xbox Game Pass, we're limited right now to the consoles, occasionally PC. This is not going to be on PC, as well as streaming to the phones. Wait till this gets to smart TVs, this app. Wait till more people can access this where you don't even need a console. You know, we're getting a little taste of that with the phone streaming, but wait till you have to have the smart TV app and a controller and that's it. That's when these are going to be major kicks in the gut. So this may not be the biggest deal to a lot of people. It's MLB The Show. Okay, whatever. Sure, why not? I think MLB The Show is great. It's a fantastic baseball sim, but point being is that the sports games draw a huge crowd. This will 100% pull a ton of people because so many folks are going to go, well, why would I spend $70 on what I put in quotes is the same game, right? That's the argument all the time with these sports games is they're the same game. And Xbox added NBA, they added FIFA, they added NHL, all of the recent ones to Game Pass as well. So they're doing the smart thing here. A lot of people who are, we'll say more casual, are about to hop on Xbox, for sure. This is just a way cheaper way to consume all that content. And even if you're interested in one sporting game, you can just play all of them now through Game Pass. That's crazy to think about. And as the rosters get updated and stuff, this will be a good long-term move. So just wanted to put this right in the front of the video. Really surprising thing to wake up to, that's for sure. Let's talk a bit about backwards compatibility. So it starts with PlayStation, funny enough. PlayStation made the really mind-boggling choice of shutting down the PS Vita digital store, the PSP digital store, and the PS3 digital store starting in July and August. And you can still go in and download games that you've already purchased, so now's the time. Go on that spending spree. But also, if you're like me, you like to collect physically, especially for Vita, get to buying, okay? Take some money out of that savings account. I don't know how much you got, but get to spending because it's about to get pricey up in here. And so they made this choice to say no to game preservation. And honestly, I found it very frustrating. This is not a PlayStation versus Xbox thing. This is a gaming thing. I believe PlayStation, even if they were not making money on it, should absolutely be keeping these stores up. Are a lot of people using them? Hell no. I'm not going to try to fool anyone on that. No. But besides all of that, I do think that they should have still kept them up. And it looks like Xbox continues to push the preservation of these older titles and making them accessible in more places and making it even cooler. So xCloud is something that we've talked about quite a bit on both Defining Duke as well as here on the channel. It seems to be the big future for Xbox, whether they want to stream stuff to your phone or eventually the smart TV apps. And now you can stream not just current games, but back compat games. And the list that they have here, one of them for a lot of you out there is going to be a dream come true. And it's pissing me off. They need to release xCloud already because I got an iPhone, okay? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. I want to stream the games on my phone. And you're going to know why I'm getting a little thirsty over it because the games here, they're really good. So Xbox announced the following Xbox 360 games are available through backwards compatible on xCloud Gaming, meaning you can play it on your phone, stream it to a tablet, etc. Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Double Dragon Neon, Fable 2, Fallout New Vegas, baby! Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, Gears of War Judgment, Jetpack Refueled, Cameo, Perfect Dark Zero, Morrowind, Oblivion! Oh my god, are you kidding me? Viva Pinata TIP. I have not played Viva Pinata. I know, major blind spot in my Xbox catalog. So I don't know. I think it's Trouble in Paradise. But anyway, for Viva Pinata, both those games, as well as Jetpack, they have touch controls enabled. So you can use those if you don't have the controller attachment or the things that go to the side of your phones that I've seen other people use. Paris Lily actually posted a picture of Banjo-Kazooie running on his phone. I was like, what? This is actually insane. For me, Fallout New Vegas, this is why I want it, man. I want this on my phone. Still, I think that Android will be the best way to go about playing these xCloud games, because what's happening is iPhone, when they get them, they're going to have to go through the browser. So still, I think the best way to go is going to be through the Game Pass app, which is on Android, and playing it through there, because Apple is just really shitty, and they're really bugging me about that. But anyway, New Vegas can now be taken on the go. Something that we have dreamed of for a while. I know it's not the Switch port that people imagined, but it's something that hopefully will still happen. But for now, you can take Fallout New Vegas on the go. That is rad. And I want to make a video testing these out. It's like, man, I need to get a tablet or something, because that is so cool. Especially here in this studio. We have Fios here. Thank you to all of you who support the channel through the Patreon. We're able to pay for the best possible internet that we can get. But we have Fios here. My home internet, really not that great. But here we have good internet, and I want to try to stream these games. Like, for example, while I'm waiting for a video to render, being able to fire up one of these games on the phone, crazy to think about. Absolutely nuts to think about. So really exciting stuff here, especially in light of PlayStation shutting down a lot of digital storefronts. This is welcome news, especially. And by the way, for those who think this was like Xbox doing some type of ding, got them, they really didn't do that all too much. Just saying they believe in game preservation. That's really it. But otherwise, it was a wide open shot for Xbox for free. You know, arms were down to the side, and they could have just went boom. Nothing though. Anyway, let's move on to the rumor of an Xbox exclusive IP making a return, and that one is Alan Wake. So I love Alan Wake. I thought this game was really this interesting mixture of like a psychological thriller as well as survival horror elements. Just a really cool game from Remedy, and like many others out there, my first introduction to them. I still got to get around to Control, which is on Game Pass, but Alan Wake was really the start of their popularity, and now it seems like Alan Wake 2 is a thing. So the rumor comes from none other than Jeff Grubb. Let's go ahead, roll the tape, and discuss a little bit. So, of course, the major thing here is that Remedy's project will be coming back through Epic. We don't know if that means it's going to be on consoles, will be an Epic exclusive, because if Epic's footing the bill to say, let's build this from the ground up, how will that work? But hey, all I'm saying is I have a lot of followers, and I've seen a lot of people, Carrick included, my co-host on Ham Radio, as well as Defining Duke, have said like the things they would do for an Alan Wake sequel. And so I'm thrilled for those people that this very well may be in the cards. That's the one positive about some of these big players getting involved, like a Microsoft, like an Epic, is you can start to see some of these passion projects, these things that would otherwise never happen, with companies that have money to blow, being able to spend it and say like, hey, we'll be Epic Game Store exclusive with this project. That doesn't mean that we have an idea of what's happening with consoles, but still, I think that it's awesome to see Alan Wake could be coming back. And I'm just curious to see what they do with it next. And a lot of people, without spoiling anything, have heavily indicated that Control in some way hints that this would be a thing anyway. So it makes sense, and it looks like Epic is in on it, so I wouldn't expect it to be on Steam. So prepare yourselves for that mentally. And now let's move into our final bit of news, talking about Square Enix. So we've seen them team up with Xbox with Outriders day one on Game Pass. Octopath Traveler breaking off from Nintendo. It was already on Steam, but breaking off from Nintendo on console exclusivity and dropping right on Xbox. Download this game, by the way. Octopath in 4K is like the most beautiful thing I've ever laid my eyes on. Please do yourself the favor, do your eyes the favor, and play this game. Even if you don't like JRPGs, I think this one will click with you. Why? Because I'm a JRPG fanboy. That's why, okay? You don't need anything more than that. Now, when it comes to Square Enix, according to IGN Korea's Twitter, they say that more Square Enix games are coming in the future on Game Pass. The deal is already locked, and that more is on the way. Now, it only came through IGN Korea. They haven't specified what or how or when or any further clarification. So I would say this is a grain of salt. type of rumor. Not because I don't trust IGN, but because we don't have someone attached to it. It's just the official account. There could be a translation error here. And even if there isn't, I still think that it's insanely vague. Now, what Square Enix games could fit this? Absolutely, number one game comes to mind for me, and it's not going to be the one that you're hyped for. Avengers. Avengers makes the most sense to arrive on Game Pass. We have the Wakanda expansion coming at the end of the year, so I think with that, synchronizing with Game Pass, and Square has to be seeing the numbers here, okay? Benji Sales posted a great little chart here showcasing the interest and the hype for Outriders, where it was the Game Pass announcement, the demo release, and people started to look into this game, talk about it much more than previously before. So Xbox Game Pass is best known for a great value package, but really what it's also known for is marketing now. It can boost your game severely, where if someone was on the fence, they may actually be paying attention and buying in, and that's pretty massive. And so when you look at that, you look at, of course, Avengers status right now, and then you look at Fallout 76, which is bounced back, and which also Bethesda said was saved in thanks part to Xbox Game Pass. I think Avengers is the perfect fit, and with the Wakanda expansion coming soon, and it's going to be free, I believe, then that seems to make a lot of sense for Square Enix. Of course, other games that could arrive on Game Pass. Let's talk a little bit about Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is something we've been waiting for a while to come over to Xbox, and I understand why PlayStation's locking it down. Final Fantasy VII, originally PlayStation exclusive. That legacy is there. It makes sense why Remake is exclusive to PlayStation. I love Remake. I'm so excited for Intergrade, and I want to see more of this universe. I want to see that next game entry, but for now, we got to be patient. Still, really excited for this expansion, but also Xbox fans, I really want you all to experience this game. I mean, it is a really good journey. While Final Fantasy IX is now my favorite Final Fantasy, check it out, also on Game Pass. I mean, look, it's an old game, but it is aged phenomenally in its storytelling. I loved it. But point being is, 7 Remake still develops its characters well. The combat's really fun. It's probably the best modern Final Fantasy, and I have a soft spot for things like 15 and 13 too, but those games are pretty flawed, where this one is a lot more of a stronger entry. So I hope you all get to experience it at some point in time. And I imagine Square understands, like, hey, it makes sense for us to eventually release there. So that is it for the Xbox news of the week. A lot of interesting stuff to talk about, from Halo Infinite to really Halo Infinite Delay to, of course, the new backwards compatibility editions. We have Game Pass editions, and on top of that, Alan Wake may be coming back. So some cool stuff happening this week. Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Curious to see your thoughts. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. And a big thank you to all the patrons, all the members who are really supporting all this content diversity. Thank you so much, and I'll talk with you very soon. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.